I don't know about you, but no one ever told me how to price my services. It's kind of like a game where you just make it up. And as a business owner, I always had trouble charging too much because I felt bad. I didn't want to charge and try to gouge people. I wanted to try to help people. And at the same time, if I charged too low, I felt a little resentment because I did work my butt off and invest a lot of money in school to be able to know how to deliver this result for people. So here's the thing. In our professions, we typically are reimbursed through insurances, through CPT codes, with time. So if you bill a certain code, let's say 97710, it's a timed code, exercise Therex code, where you are reimbursed based on a 15-minute increment. So if you work with the person 30 minutes, you do 2 codes, 40 minutes, 3 codes, so on. Well, if you did this same model with cash-based services, you would strictly be basing the value that you deliver on the time it takes you to deliver it. This is not a good way. You do not want to base your value on time and effort. In other words, 20 years into being a therapist, I spent tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on my education. Somebody comes in, they're complaining of a neck problem. I've seen this problem 100 times. I know exactly what to do. And I'm able to treat them in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Compared to somebody that works for me, that's a new grad, no experience, they work with them for an hour. Now, in the insurance model, that person actually makes the company more money. I actually make the company less money, even though the value I provided to the patient, meaning they were only here 10 minutes and they only have to come one time, is tremendous, but I wasn't compensated for it. So here's the thing. Rule number 1, do not base the value of your services, what you charge, on time and effort. That is not the world we live in. Number 2, you want to base it on the value. What is the value of what you provide? So if you're providing, let's say, a performance program for runners, what is the value of that to a runner? A runner that can run marathons without feeling as much pain. A runner that can beat their personal best. What is that worth? It's probably a lot. So once you understand that, number 2 is, once you determine what the value it is that you're providing, number 2 is, well, what type of business do you have? How do you compare your business, not in terms of, pricing or all that, but in terms of, are you like a Ritz Carlton of the therapy business? Or are you the Motel 6? You see, the Ritz Carlton and Motel 6 are both, multi-million-dollar chains. They just target a different population. They both provide rooms, they both provide beds, but the experience that people have is different between one. It's not better or worse per se. They're just targeting a different person and providing value to that person. So that's how one would want to look at their services. If your services is based a little bit more on, hey, we do a good job, but we don't roll out the Egyptian cotton sheets, well then you might be more like a Marriott or a Motel 6, which is certainly fine. But if you're like, we are the Ritz Carlton of therapy, we roll out the red carpet, we give you Evian bottled water when you walk in, our services are high level, we spend so much time and effort on making this the greatest possible experience, you would expect to, as a client, patient, you would expect to pay more for something like that. So this is how I get people to think about their services out of the world of time and effort and into the world of value and where you and your company is positioned in that. So think about that in your business. Look at your pricing. Does your pricing match the value you provide? If it doesn't, perhaps it's time for an upgrade. And if the problem is, well, I feel bad or I'm uncomfortable asking for more money, see, that's a different problem. That's not a pricing issue. That's a money mindset issue. And we'll talk more about that in the days and the weeks to come. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.